Welcome to the Northwest Bruin Football Show. I'm Josh Robinson, the head coach at Northwest, and we are here to discuss this past week's exciting victory over Heritage High School. Felt like we came out and performed really well at the beginning of the game. Our defense bent but didn't break, had a goal line stop, and then our offense was really in rhythm to put us up 14-2. They did get a safety on the one where we stopped them on the goal line, so they did come away with points soon after that, but we played really well. And then I thought Heritage did a good job holding the ball. I thought we had a few plays here or there, and their game plan was clearly to take the ball out of our offense's hands and limit the opportunities we had. I felt like they did a good job of doing that. I felt like we made a few mistakes on defense to allow them to execute their game plan. A huge play was at the end of the half. We were lined up. They have a really good field goal kicker, and we're going to have a chance for a field goal. And they completed 3rd and long for a touchdown to cut the lead to 14-9. And then at that point, I for sure knew that we were in for a typical Northwest Heritage game. We came out in the second half, possessions limited, and held the lead the entire time until the last. I think they scored with 27 seconds left. We had a big 2-point stop, and ultimately had a great throw, great protection, and a great play by Reyes Morrison to streak down the sidelines for a touchdown. So to give us our final score of the Northwest 22 and Heritage 15. Our offense on the night, again, their opportunities were limited. I thought Owen was magnificent in the opportunities that he had. He went 11 for 16 for 213 yards and a touchdown. Just a competitor, never gives up. Was telling the offense how we were going to go down, kick a field goal, and win the game. We ultimately ended up with a reception for it. For the game winner. Rushing wise, Owen had 16 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown. Continues to do stuff with his feet. A couple of those, his yards would be greater, but a couple of those they were able to get a sack on us, make us hurry, tackle us at the line of scrimmage, various things like that happen when we're playing in a game. The amount of plays that we had overall on the night were in the low 50s, which is the smallest number that we've had in years here. And our offense was in bad field position sometimes because of the field position game we played. I thought they did a great job moving the ball a couple of times, and Owen was instrumental in that. Cameron Collins came on and started and played for us with 11 carries for 40 yards and a touchdown. He's a freshman, doing some really good things for us and continues to get better every week. He'll continue to get better in protection, those things that young running backs typically struggle with. Adrian Reyes did have 2 carries for 9 yards. Adrian's battling. He wants to play. He's battling a hamstring injury, and I thought in the fourth quarter he had a huge carry for a 7-yard gain that helped set up one of the first downs for us to take the clock from 6:30 down to around a minute 20 when they got the ball back. So Adrian's a warrior, wants to be out there, cares about his team, and is going to continue. We're going to try to nurse him and keep him on the healing path, but at the same time he's going to be available for game action on Fridays. We just hope there's no more setbacks. Reyes Morrison on the night had 4 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown. They doubled, triple teamed Reyes a lot. 3 of his catches, and my estimation would be about 75 of his yards came. No, it'd been 80. 80 of his yards came in the last drive, the final 27 seconds of the game. So great job by Reyes. Battling through, his body language was much better, because I know it's frustrating when you're a good player and you're not getting the ball, but when they're doubling, triple teaming and rolling people over top and underneath, it's really hard to get him the ball, and then our limited opportunities makes those situations even more difficult. Hudson Gray had 4 catches for 60 yards. Hudson has improved as much the last 2 weeks as he did the first half of the season. We definitely need to keep going in that path. He had a huge catch in the fourth quarter that gave us a first down, again, while we're trying to move along and run the clock out without the other team getting the ball. Our offense had done that twice, did a really good job this game. Hudson was instrumental in that, but unfortunately they did get the ball back with a minute 20 left. Brayden Morrison on the night had 2 catches, 31 yards. Brayden continues to be a consistent force for us, doing a good job, working hard and blocking, catching. Again, we would like like to throw the ball to all those guys more, but we just had a limited opportunity. But Brayden was coming off a huge game, and they gave him a little more attention than we anticipated as well. Braxton Floyd had a catch for 30 yards, big catch down the sideline, helped set up our second touchdown, if my memory recalls, for us, and he continued to play defense, playing almost every play of the game. So he continues to fight and be a good football player for us. On the night, Grant Holder kicked the ball probably the best he's done all year. We've went back and forth between trying to kick it short, on the ground, in the air, deep. And again, I talked about it last week. We have so much confidence that Grant has the ability to do what we're asking him to do. He's worked as hard as any kicker that we've ever had. And I felt like he had his best game of the year, hit both his extra points and kicked the ball deep. And then Hudson Gray punted the ball phenomenal. The last punt, some people would want us to go for it on fourth down there, but I thought our defense had played well enough that, and Hudson had punted the ball well enough to give our defense that opportunity with a minute left. And we came up with a couple of penalties, 30 yards in penalties, and they ended up scoring. But Hudson on the night averaged over 35 yards punting. So a good night for him overall. At this time, let's take a look at our first half highlights. Coming out of the tunnel here, and Jayden Santiago is usually our backflip guy, but a freshman at Kendris Douglas performs it for us. I guess that's a thing. I'm not really involved in that. Great job by Brayden, catching the ball in the wide open with nobody really around him. And then, like most good defenses and most well-coached teams, there's going to be a slew of people converge on him. Great run by Cameron, good blocking up front. I thought our front five offensive linemen did a good job. Dawson Wheeler's a spectacular player. Riley Bonanno, Jackson Greason, Alex Starks, and Austin Duncan all played well for us. And there you see a not really quarterback sneak, but similar for us as Owen gets in the end zone, and then Jax Brooker snaps, and Grant Holder on the kick right there to add it. And we have a good job of Reese Cowart coming down, getting a special teams tackle, and Will Roper being involved in well. Here you can see their typical plan of running off tackle, and Connor Cummins is really physical, and Jayden ends up finishing the block. A good job by Ike Ralston. He really needs to be outside of that block, but he rips underneath and is able to make a tackle. One of the fastest first quarters I've ever been a part of. Both teams didn't really have big plays, had big moments, but didn't have big plays down the field. There at first down on getting close to our goal line, and Jayden Santiago, along with other Bruins, has to stop. Here Jayden overruns it a little bit, but Jax Brooker pursues Reese Coward. Jayden recovers and gets in on the tackle as well. They're getting close to our goal line. Really looks like they're about to get in. That's a huge stop by Isaiah Foster as we kind of give up the edge. And again, we end the first quarter 7-0, and each team's only had one possession. I thought Junior Aguirre did a great job of getting underneath their center and not allowing them to get any yardage, and they're used to using their running back to kind of push in. We ended up getting a safety. As we came back on offense, we gave up a safety, I guess I should say. And they come back with their off-tackle runs, and Jax Brooker, Jayden Santiago, Connor Cummins, Reyes De La Paz are all bodies that are flying around in there. Reyes running the corner. They kind of throwing up, let them run by us just a hair, but still a good coverage by our guys. Need to be a little better over top. End up making them punt, and this is kind of what we had to deal with offensively. It's difficult to go 60, 70 yards against a good football team and score, and we end up there, it being so late in the process that we have to go a long way. There's a big catch by Hudson, who ends up getting down the field. He fumbles as he lands. He's got a hold on the ball, but still a good catch and a great throw there. I feel like the post is open a little bit, but Owen gets a little bit of pressure and scrambles for a first down. We ended up, I think, getting a hold on that particular play, and we hung the ball up a little bit there, but a great catch by Braxton. I know that appears to be easy, but those plays where you're wide open are difficult to make sometimes. There, our O-line does a great job of getting us in the end zone. Cameron Collins, even being a young guy, continues to have his feet moving to put us up 14-2 with 5 minutes left. And here they go on a little bit of a drive, and our guys hang on. And you'll see in a minute, there's Jax Brooker on the tackle. I think they have about a 20-yard gain there, and then Iker Alston comes up and with, I believe, Reese Cowart, and does a good job of stopping them there. Jax Brooker flows through with multiple bodies hitting on him, and we get them in 3rd and long, and unfortunately give up a long pass play right before the half, and then we get the ball back and nil it with just a few seconds left. Overall, we end the half in good shape with the Northwest Bruins 14 and Heritage Generals 9. At this time, let's take a look at our corporate sponsors.
My name's Adrian Reyes. I'm number 6 and I'm running back. It's either scoring the touchdown against Stevenson last year in the playoffs or the Heritage game last year. It was very emotional for me. My height, I'm not the tallest. It's probably my sophomore year at a Tennessee camp. I dropped a wide open pass, and ever since then, Coach Fisher hasn't trusted me with a route. It's not a movie, but on the show iCarly, in the beginning previews when they used to wiggle their toes, that used to freak me out. I'd wear an all Carhartt fit just cause. I probably gave something to my girlfriend, I just can't remember right now, or my mom. I'd go to the 70s, just cause it's good vibes. I don't think, I just mainly listen to music and really connect to the songs. I tend to be a smart aleck. I always have something to say. Oh, I am a professional house painter. I'd like to thank my mom, anyone who's ever supported me, my coaches, and people who have really trusted the process, and of course, God. My name's Adrian Reyes, I'm number 6, and I'm running back.
Hayden Maynard, I'm number 16, and I play tight end and defensive end. Probably playing in the first round playoff game last year against Stevenson. I'm a ginger. That's the main thing I get picked on about. Last year against Central Carrollton, when I dropped the ball and they got picked off and Coach Rob was just chewing me out. That was pretty embarrassing. I wouldn't say a movie, but the Michael Jackson Thriller music video still kind of haunts me to this day. Probably Kirsten. I gave her $20. for her birthday. My sister. I would probably go back to the 80s because that's just how I am. I love that kind of vibe. Talking too much, being hyperactive. I'm pretty raw at Madden. I can get on the sticks and whoop some booty on Madden. I would like to thank my parents and the coaches and God for everything they've done for me. Hayden Maynard, I'm number 16 and I play tight end and defensive end.
Welcome back to the Northwest Bruin Football Show to talk about our victory over Heritage. Let's talk a little bit about our defense. I thought our defense played exceptionally well, minus about 3 pass coverages, but that's difficult. You know, they do a good job. They're a lot bigger than we are. They have bigger bodies. They were able to protect, and what they're doing is empty wing tee stuff. They have a really good quarterback, so they're trying to take advantage of him as a runner and as a thrower, and it makes it a little more difficult to get pressure on him, which then turns around and puts more pressure on our DBs to coverage, and they have some good players and made some good plays. We have to still find a way to be a little better in the passing game. Defensively up front, I believe they had around 30 carries for about 119 yards to the best of my knowledge, and we felt really good about that. They were coming off almost over 200 yards against Central, rushing the ball, and the quarterback really hurt Central, and I thought our guys did a great job dealing with him on the night and dealing with the multiple formations and bunch sets and all the empties that you see that you have to adjust to. I thought our guys were mentally focused up front. We got great secondary support, whereas that was a little lacking the week before. So we're starting to come together. We got to continue to grow and develop, but overall a pretty good night for our defense. Reyes de la Paz on the defensive line had 7 tackles, 4 quarterback pressures, a tackle for a loss. If Reyes were sitting here, he would tell you he missed a couple of big tackles on Friday, but then came back almost every single time and had a huge play on the next down, pressuring the quarterback, knocking him over, tackles for a loss, tackles for no gain. Reyes is a really good player. He's going to be outsized probably across the line every position we play him compared to the opposition, and he still continues to play hard and produce for us. Hayden Maynard had 3 tackles and a quarterback pressure. Hayden continues to grow and get back in shape, missing so much time with the MCL tear has been a little slow in his recovery process and slows him down in general a little bit, but he continues to fight and produce for us at a very high clip and providing some senior leadership on the defensive line. Miles Mays came in and had a tackle and a quarterback pressure. Miles's reps, of course, with Hayden coming back, has been split up, and it's really better for a freshman to get to continue to play that and spread those reps out for us, and he continues to grow and become a better football player. Our noses were double and triple teamed all night based off of what was being ran by the other team. They're off-tackle team, so there's very few opportunities for tackles. So Junior Aguirre had 2 tackles. Jackson Holt had some quality snaps, and Gian Gomez also had a tackle, all playing at that nose position. So good job by those guys fighting the center and the double teams they got, and not giving up a lot of ground and helping our front 7 be successful, even though they didn't rack up a lot of stats. Connor Cummins at linebacker was the most consistent linebacker on the night. He had 10 tackles, 2 pressures, and 2 tackles for a loss. Just a great night for Connor. We asked him to do a lot of things, play some man coverage, which is not usual for us or for Connor. I thought he did a phenomenal job. Getting everybody lined up, was physical, fought through a little bit of an injury during the game and produced at a really high clip. Ike Ralston, our other outside linebacker, he started a little slow in the game and then really came on as the game advanced and made a huge stop in the fourth quarter when they got the ball back with a minute left, and they had a screen perfectly set up, and Ike fought through a block and was able to tackle it for about a 4-yard gain. So it was a spectacular play, and one was indicative of how he played from about the second quarter on. So he has to start faster. He knows that, but at the same time, a very solid night for him. Jax Brooker and Jayden Santiago manned our inside linebacker positions and ended up with really good stats. Started out maybe a little slow, a little fit issues, and that's typical, unfortunately, when you're playing that style offense that you haven't played all year with the empty wing tee things, but they were able to correct them, and it ended up having a very productive night for us. Jax Brooker had 12 tackles, a sack, and 2 tackles for a loss. Continues to lead our defense, and has been just a stalwart inside for us, one of the best in this region, running to the ball, getting us lined up, getting the calls, the strength calls. He does a little bit of everything, and then his partner here is Jayden Santiago, who is our senior up front, and those guys, that linebacking crew, and fought an injury all week and showed extreme toughness to come out with 11 tackles and a sack for us. Just a great night for Jayden to come off of a week where really he had very little practice reps and come up against an offense like that, for him to go out and perform and hit the holes as he was supposed to make the tackles was really nice to see. Isaiah Foster is a sophomore in the secondary for us. And again, all those guys, as I start to mention Isaiah here, all those guys were supported the run much better and made some good plays for us at the same time in the passing game. Most people will remember the couple of mistakes that were made, but overall our secondary showed a vast amount of improvement. And Isaiah, sophomore, had 5 tackles for us on the night. We asked him to cover their best receiver numerous times, made some good plays for us. A couple of tackles that were right at the line of scrimmage weren't not quite for a loss, but they didn't gain any yardage on. Braxton Floyd, again, we've already mentioned him, continues to play almost every play in the game, and he's not a very big individual, so I know that's difficult on him, but he's a warrior and continues to fight for us and had a tackle on the night. Dominic Smith fought off another injury for us and had 3 tackles and a forced fumble that was huge as they were going in the end zone. He continued to run the ball, showed pride as they were crossing the goal line, and we were fortunate enough to make them fumble there as it looked like they were about to take the lead in the fourth quarter early on. Reyes had his most productive and probably best night in the Bruins secondary with 11 tackles and a pass breakup. Reyes is a guy that we're all cheering for. He's worked really hard to get to the point that he's at and continues to grow into his role as a leader back there in the secondary. Overall, a good night for our defense. We still have to do things better. Every position, every coach that's on defense, including me, has to do a little bit better job and push our guys a little more to achieve at a high level. At this time, let's take a look at the second half highlights. Again, we came in with one of the quicker halves that we played. The second one had a lot of action as well, with both teams moving the ball but never mounting any points in the third quarter. There we've got Reyes de la Paz, some other guys flying the ball. Junior does a good job of applying some pressure, slips down on our field, but Reyes comes back with a tackle. There, Jackson Holt gives some pressure to the quarterback, makes him hand it off. They have a play where they read the nose, and good job by him. He's a junior that would be playing for us, had some early season setbacks, starting to give us more and more reps. Great tackle by Connor Cummins on the perimeter there. There's one of the missed tackles that we've talked about with Reyes, but still creates that pressure, slows them down, and then I believe this is third down where they have a mishandled snap, and Ike Ralston ends up getting a sack on the quarterback there. They end up punting it. It takes a good Bruin bounce and stops about the 19, so we're in decent field position, but again, against a good team, hard to make it down the field, but we pick up a first down and flip the field a little bit, get a punt off. That's pretty good, and they hit us with a long play early on a post route. There, Miles Mays and Jax Brooker in on tackles, blitzing a little bit. Good job by Ike Ralston running our blitz scheme the way we want, and ends up creating pressure on the quarterback draw. 14-9 at this point, and they start getting close to the goal line, and our guys would give it up a little bit behind us, but Braxton Floyd gets just enough fingertip on that for them to drop the ball in the end zone, and instead of catching it, we end up making them scramble. We punted back to them quickly, get a holding call, get some pressure on the quarterback there and make him throw it up. Almost had an interception there. Good coverage by, I believe, Reyes Cowart. Third down, and they chop block us here, and I decided that I'm going to take the penalties. I want to back them up even more. They end up throwing the ball deep and calling pass interference on a very, very weak call. But nonetheless, they come back on third down, a great break. They weren't going to get the first down anyway because it was a great break by Reese Coward, ended up breaking up the pass. They get a big punt off here down inside, kind of puts us at danger, but Braxton makes a smart decision, allows it to go in the end zone. We end up punting it away, and they are knocking on our door once again, and we got Jayden Santiago and Reyes de la Paz flying to the ball. They run the counter here. One of our linebackers scrapes the wrong way, but as you can see, he started fumbling the ball pretty early as Dominic Smith was coming after it, and does a great job not giving up on the play, and I believe Braxton Floyd recovered the fumble. There, Owen Brooker makes a smart play, picks up a first down. At this point, we've got about 6.5 minutes left. We're trying to run it out. There's Adrian's huge run, about 7 yards. He picks up a first down when everything was stopped inside. We end up throwing a post route or a go route right here to Hudson. Makes a great play with it. First down. We'd gotten a big play, but we got a penalty to push it back to make it 1st and 11. Kind of go back and forth, and some people would want us to go for it right there, but we're barely past midfield. Our defense had played really well. We were putting them in a passing situation where I felt like we could get pressure, and we did, but we picked up 2 penalties in this situation to give them 30 yards of their offense as they go down and try to score towards the end of the game. They ultimately score. We were close, but we didn't quite stay over top, and Ray stays in bounds here. He's got to get out of bounds. This is the final play, and then next play we hit on the out again as they're bailing, and they're worried about Ray getting over top, and we decided we're going to out and up them right here. Figured they would bite a little bit. Actually makes them bail, and they try to make an interception. Our protection was great, a great throw by Owen, and then a foot race, and ultimately, thank goodness he got in the end zone. We didn't have to worry about kicking a field goal in that opportunity and in that kind of situation, and we end up scoring the 2-point conversion with Hudson Gray. Good throw by Owen. We get in our prevent defense. We press a couple of guys that we consider their best players. I think they're trying to run over top and run a hook and ladder, and everybody's happy. It's a great win for the Bruins as they make a huge comeback victory after being down with 27 seconds left and win the game 22-15. Let's once again take a look at our corporate sponsors.
My name is Brayden Morrison. I'm number 18, play wide out. This past Friday when we beat Heritage on the last play. Probably getting injured every week. I'm always getting banged up a lot. I had an arm injury at the beginning of the year, now my hand's banged up, so always getting banged up. Against Cedartown this year, fumbling a snap that I probably should have caught, and it kind of cost us the game. I used to kind of be scared of like Barney, I guess. I didn't like how he's dressed up in that big old outfit. It's a Patagonia hoodie, honestly, that's all. It's like Patagonia. Probably a Mother's Day card to my mom. say the 80s. I like the music and the atmosphere and the culture. I think about a lot of stuff. Think about, it's usually when I sing and it's the music I like and stuff, so yeah. Talking to other people in class, not focusing on my work. Something you would never guess about me is probably playing the guitar and playing the ukulele. I try to play a lot of instruments, been learning more and more. I'd like to thank my mom, my dad, my brother and sister, especially my brother. He's been a big part of me playing football. He's always pushed me to do more, and then my dad obviously is pushing me to do more. He was my coach for the longest time growing up. He always has helped me to learn a lot about football, and he knows the most. So, my name is Brayden Morrison. I'm number 18. Play wide out.
Jayden Santiago, 21, and a middle linebacker and running back. Last Friday when we beat Heritage, Reyes touchdown was pretty memorable. Definitely my hair. I've had a lot of questionable hairstyles in the past, so they always find a picture to show me. That's embarrassing. Last year against Southeast, I happened to trip over a player, and a Southeast player came and covered over me, and it just made me uncomfortable the way he kind of was on top of me. Caroline, that's a real creepy movie. That's just eerie in a weird way. Something comfortable, sweatpants and probably a sweater over it. A Squishmallow from my girlfriend. I'm going back to rec ball when I was little, just playing with my friends. That was probably the best time of my life. I don't have many thoughts flow through my mind. I'm kind of just listening to music, driving, focused on the road. Definitely my mouth. I do not know how to stop talking and just to quit. I know how to play, let me see, I think 7 instruments right now. All the coaches that helped me through this year and coached me out there, put in a lot of time, and all my teammates, you know, I love them. Those are my brothers, my family. Jayden Santiago, 21, and a middle linebacker and running back.
Welcome back to the Northwest Bruin Football Show as we wrap up this week's event discussing our win over Heritage. Huge win for us. Drives us, we've not secured anything. It pushes us towards a step closer towards securing a playoff berth. It pushes us a step forward into securing a home playoff game. Where we end up is unknown, and actually those two things are not decided. So we have to continue to grow and move forward, but we achieved a lot of steps in our reaching our goals that we put out there before the game for our guys. Great job coming back and building on what we did well against Cedartown to move forward and get this win. We go forward next week and we play Southeast Whitfield over on the other side of the county, and we hope everyone shows up on this particular night to support our football team, our band, and our cheerleaders as usual. We want to give a definite congratulations to Vanessa Cornell, who was our homecoming queen. Again, homecoming got pushed off a couple of times. It's usually going to be in a non-region game, and we came on this particular night because of a couple of delays, and you know, congratulations to Vanessa, but not just her, all of the girls on the homecoming court. I know that's a really big deal for Northwest High School in general and those families as they're their young ladies get to walk across the field and be recognized on that. So we wish them all the best as go forward. Vanessa's a soccer player, and several of those girls are involved in extracurriculars here at Northwest High School, and it just kind of is a testament to the commitment that our school has to being great at everything we do. Come out and support. I've already said that, but I want to emphasize it again. Come out and support as the weather starts turning more towards what most people, including myself, would describe as football weather. Come out and support your Bruins. Until next week, this is Josh Robinson with Northwest Football.